Welcome to Sports Beat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Wednesday, February 15th, and I'm Blair Kirchhoff. In the midst of the Chiefs celebration, we quickly switch over to baseball in the Royals. I motored over from our Super Bowl headquarters to catch up on the beginning of spring training, and on today's show, you'll hear the first spring training conversation for new manager Matt Quatraro with reporters. He spent much of the time discussing getting to know this young team and what that involves. Next, we spoke with infielder Nicky Lopez, who takes pride in being a veteran on this team. He also shares a funny story about his post-Super Bowl experience. Finally, you'll hear from Royal shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. This interview actually happened a week before the Super Bowl in Kansas City, but Witt had some interesting things to say about how he hopes to improve this season and offered some observations of Patrick Mahomes. Okay, let's get started.
How's it feel? First official day?
Yeah, well, it's tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right, first,
you're jumping into the future.
First unofficial day?
No, it's been great. I've been out here since last Tuesday, and some people have been here a month or more, so they're doing good. It's been good. Everybody's been, efficient with their time and getting in what they need. Other than the weather, it's been great.
How different is the process with the WBC and different reporting dates and all that? Does that affect you guys?
It's a little choppy, a little clunky, but it doesn't affect, like I said, some of these guys have already gotten multiple bullpens in before they get here, and now that they're here, it's just kind of gauging where they are, and Brian's been doing a good job of communicating with them, so, yeah, it hasn't caused any issues yet.
What expectations do you hope to establish in these next couple of days with everyone reporting as you kind of go forward in spring?
I think just getting the guys to know each other, and there's a lot of. I think maybe one thing I've underestimated a little bit is that it's a big change for a lot of people. There's a lot of new faces, and to me, it was like the whole winter I had to acclimate to that idea of change. And I think some people, now that I'm seeing it in action, is like there are going to be a lot of differences for people that maybe I've had time to conceptualize that other people haven't. So kind of just getting familiar with each other and having them know like what the staff's going to be like and how the interactions might be a little different. So that's kind of where I really want to start.
How do you go about doing that? Is it just through organic conversations, or do you have specific things you'd like to see?
Yeah, organic conversations and just being consistent. That's what we're going to be, and just letting them know who we are and what things are important to us and listening to what's important to them too. But it's not going to be forced like meeting after meeting or that kind of thing. It's just interacting out here and watching what they do and how to best help them.
Can a change be good? Guys feel like they have to make an impression. They have to impress a new group of coaches and manager.
But that's not what I want. I don't want them to feel like they have to impress us. I mean, I'm already impressed with what's been here and the talent and the things that are in place. So that's the exact opposite of what I want, is guys to come out here and try to feel like they have to show something to us. I want them to just be themselves.
When it comes to guys competing for spots, how do you balance your preconceptions, what you've seen both from the outside and since you've been hired, and leaving it kind of open for competition and let them win jobs and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be competition, but the thing that at any level of baseball, I think you got to be careful of just who plays the best in the spring is not necessarily the person that makes the team, because we have to look at the whole picture. We have to look at what's best for that person in this moment and in his career, and what's best for the organization too. So you got to be careful of, hey, this guy had a great spring, so he makes the team, and the guy that's a proven veteran didn't have a great spring, or that kind of thing. So we'll try to stay away from that as best we can.
From your off-season conversations, what has stood out as far as what the guys want from you?
Communication, I think, is the number one thing, which to me is kind of our hallmark, I guess, and I think Brian especially did an unbelievable job of getting out and seeing a lot of the pitchers and communicating with them. Paul Hoover's been here since the beginning of February and has done a tremendous job of getting to know everybody at the facility and the support personnel, and so he got an idea of how things are going to be run and how he wants to run spring training. Vance has done the same thing. Vance has done a great job of just learning people and helping Paul get his feet on the ground. So I think that's the overwhelming sentiment.
Communication's the job.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Royals sign veteran pitchers. What is the value to the clubhouse of having veteran pitchers in there with a young staff?
Yeah, I mean, well, so when we sign veteran players, pitchers or players, we don't sign them to come here to be quote unquote leaders. They come here to perform and do what they do, and that example is what the players will see, and hopefully that's how it is. I'm not a believer in you sign veterans so that they get guys together and give them rah-rah speeches or that kind of stuff. It's more of the little day-to-day in and out stuff that I think that brings value.
When you guys bring in Aroldis, were there discussions already with him in terms of his role, in terms of, I assume he wants to close, but obviously you guys had some success in Orlo last year and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that he does want to close, and that would be tremendous. But he's also been promised nothing to that extent. JJ was clear that he's here to pitch. He wants to pitch, and he just wants, like I mentioned, he wants communication on when he's up and when he's going to be available. And the better he pitches, you'll hear me say you can never have too many guys that are playing well. So the more guys that are pitching well and playing well, the better. It may make tougher decisions for us, but in the end, it's a better situation.
Now, when you spent the offseason trying to get to know guys, how did you game plan that out? What did you kind of envision in your mind you wanted to get done, and how did you do it?
Well, some of it was just phone calls. I mean, I quite literally game planned it out by time zone, like who was up early and who I had to wait to call that was out here or in California. So that was my game plan, and just I did not have an agenda of when I called who, other than I called Salvi first. That wasn't merit, like he's the leader of this team, and I think he deserves that. But other than that, it was just get to everybody, and just try to listen to what's important to them. And they were brief introductory conversations. I don't want to make more of that than it was. As the off season went on, there were some follow-ups on what's important and what do you want to see in the spring and those kinds of things. But really, those were more just let them hear me and get to know me. And then when they come out here, that's when you really have a lot of time to interact.
What's Salvi's mindset, having been where he's been and won a World Series, and now at this stage of his career, kind of back at the center of a rebuild? I'm just curious, and we'll talk to him too, but I'm just curious from your perspective, sort of where he's at with that whole thing.
Well, the first thing I'd say is I don't think he thinks he's at the center of a rebuild. I mean, none of these players think this is a rebuild. I mean, they're here to compete, and they're here to win games. So that's the first thing. Salvi's extremely proud of what he's done, but at the same time, I can tell you he's looking to the future, and he's here now. He's not living on what happened in 14, 15, 16. He wants to be here. He wants to be a Royals Hall of Famer and quite possibly a National Baseball Hall of Famer too, and he wants to be an iconic, which he's already accomplished, right? But he's focused on winning, and all these guys are.
Has everyone reported healthy so far?
Yeah. I have not heard anything out of the ordinary, so we've been knock on wood, right?
Yeah.
We'll start with that.
Any visa issues? Nothing there.
Not that I've heard of. Yeah, everybody's here. That should be.
We're talking about first day of school for the players. First day of school for you. What's it like?
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, getting out here has been fun. Like I think I've mentioned before, it's a lot of like the philosophical stuff like in the off season, but then when you get the players around each other and start to see them perform on the field, it's been really invigorating.
Apologies, some of this stuff could be questions for down the road, but we only got one day because the Chiefs won
They did?
Super Bowl. They did, yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
So if I could just ask you about a couple of individual guys. Bobby was so great last year as a rookie. Obviously, sky's the limit. But what's sort of the next step in his evolution?
I think he's going to be, natural thing, just game at bats, game reps in the field. But I think his defense will get better. He's worked really hard on that. I think being at one position is going to be a big bonus for him. And just the more the league learns who he is, he'll have to adjust back to them. But I think you'll see him emerge as like a guy that people really gravitate to and follow his lead. So those are a couple of things that come off the top of my head.
Same question for both Vinny and MJ. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, any of the young players, right? I mean, they all had successful starts to their career to varying degrees. And it's probably unfair to them to say, okay, now we need this out of them, right? It's just go out there and get better. And that's really the mindset that these guys have talked to me about all the time is yeah, we were happy to be in the big leagues, and we took some lumps, but we're just looking to keep getting better.
And when it comes to Brady Singer, obviously you need him to be at least as good as he was in the second half last year. Maybe just some insight now that you've gotten to know him a little bit into his makeup and how he can be the ace of this staff.
Yeah, again, I think that's unfair to say we need him to be that good or better. We need him to be as good as he can be, right? And maybe last year was just the floor. Who knows? We don't want to put a limit on him. You know, we want to look to and you guys have seen baseball over the years. The Hall of Famers have stretches where they stink, you know, and then they come back, but they lessen those and they lessen them. And so these guys are all going to go through those growing pains, you know. If Brady comes out and doesn't start the year great, that doesn't mean he's no good. That means that he's got things to work through, and that's the way that all these guys need to approach it.
The weight of expectations. Johnny Damon said that playing in elimination games in the World Series and playoffs were easier than when he was a rookie and had TV commercials and everybody looking at him and all the media attention. How do you handle weight of expectations with these young guys who we're all so excited about?
That's a good. I've never heard that before. I mean, I can see that. You know, you get to the big leagues and it's all new, and everybody wants a piece of you, and you want to be involved in everything. And I think that's one thing. Like, some of these guys have done a really good job of limiting the peripheral stuff and just concentrating on the baseball. So I think that's what you try to do. And when you realize what's important, it's what you do on the field. That other stuff is ancillary to it. And if you can focus on what's on the field, you're going to be better off.
Matt, you mentioned Bobby playing shortstop consistently. When you guys looked at him last year, is there anything you guys could pinpoint why the metrics didn't grade out as well for a guy as athletic as he is, or was it positioning, or just other things that are easily correctable, or what do you guys think of that?
I think there were some technique things, footwork, you know, body position, those kinds of things, and I think it really just came down to reps, you know, and I think getting more reps at the big league level is going to be the thing that helps him the most. And now, you know, he's very open to working on all kinds of things. So with Jose Alguacil here now, that he has a really good track record of working with infielders, I think that's going to be exciting for Bobby to have him as a reference to work on those technical things too.
Already right into it. I was tracking today. I was like, I'm not going to try to swing. I'll outdo myself right now. But especially in this cold weather, guys, just throwing those sinkers, cutters. Gotta make a business decision.
There you go. So just give us a sense of the excitement. You know, I know tomorrow's the official opening day, but it's nice to be back out here.
I think that's, you know, we're just super excited. Everyone's back together. We've got a really young team, obviously. Finding myself in a leadership role, which is something I really do enjoy. But yeah, just, you know, everything's kind of laid back, and people are just being themselves. So it's been really, really cool, and a different feel around here.
So many guys coming into spring for the first time as regulars, right?
Right.
What's it been like? Again, you talk about your role as sort of a leader and a mentor, kind of getting these guys acclimated.
Yeah, I mean, we were just actually talking. Me and Vinny were talking. This is probably your first. In the past couple of years, like, this is our first like actual spring training, because like everything's been different, you know, COVID and then the lockout, and so it's been pretty cool getting to start on time, witness April baseball, like all that stuff. So it's very exciting.
What's it been like with Q kind of acclimating to you guys and you to him?
Yeah, that's been really cool too. He's kind of just, you know, he just shows up, and you don't really notice he's there until he's there, and he just lets us be ourselves, and it's very you know, loose, and you know, we have a really, really young team of guys with a lot of personality, so it just lets them, you know, show it and just be who you are. So it's been really nice.
You talked a lot about the things that he was hearing from you guys is you guys want communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have you learned about him through those conversations as he's trying to get to know you guys?
Well, that's one thing that, I mean, we've been really, you know, we want communication, you know, and it's really good to be able to go and, you know, talk to him, and he talks to us, and kind of just be transparent. And so that's something that, like I said, we have a lot of young guys who like to express themselves. You know, obviously Vinny likes to talk. A lot of these guys like to talk. So it's good that they're able to be themselves and not have to, you know, because when you're kind of tight and wound up, it's gonna show on the field too. So it's good. It's been a good feel around here.
What'd you guys do for the Super Bowl?
Oh, well, I found myself at the Chiefs after party, which was really cool. That was awesome. So me and my fiance, we were talking about how, well, she wanted to go see the Chainsmokers on Saturday. I was kind of just hanging out. I was like, I don't really want to, so I was playing video games. We ordered food, and then we showed up at the Chiefs after party, and the Chainsmokers were there. I was like, see, babe, I knew it all along. Like, what a fiance I am. So it worked out.
Does the Chiefs win kind of create a little bit more buzz for you guys, as Kansas City is kind of on the map right now?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's always good when they win. Obviously, the excitement around the city, and we're not going to be on the bottom of the barrel of baseball much longer. Like, we have a lot of young talent that are eager to win, and these guys have won from rookie ball all the way to AAA. So why not carry it over into the big league? So I'm just it's kind of crazy, but I'm that veteran that can maybe add to it. And with Salvi and Dozier, we're the 3 oldest position players right now, and it's funny because I'm only 27, 28 years old. So, but I'm happy to be a part of this squad.
How much fun can it be to be on a ball club that gets going and starts to you can feel that everybody's starting to come together?
Yeah, no, when you have a really tight-knit group, I can't say when I made my debut, we had a lot of guys who knew that they probably weren't going to be here long-term. A lot of fillers, a lot of guys who, maybe were trade bait, or guys that are going to get traded at half. These guys now that are here are going to be staying. These core guys are going to be here for a while. They're under team control. They're going to be here. So it's actually very exciting knowing that this is probably going to be our team moving forward.
Speaking of which, at second base, you get here by competing. What's it like competing?
Yeah,
at second?
I've had to compete my whole life, and Massey's a great kid, and I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I trust my ability. Obviously, it's this game's hard. If you put added pressure on yourself, it's only gonna deter you from getting to where you want to be. So last year was a tough year, obviously, for a lot of us. But the good thing is you start the year 0-0, and the batting average is at 0 as well. But back in 2021, I had a good year, and I know what I can do. So that stuff doesn't just happen on accident.
Nicky, he was talking about touching base with guys over the offseason, just kind of getting into them. I know the conversations weren't like super in depth or anything,
right.
But what was that process like just from the player side?
Yeah, it was cool. He gives a couple calls, just checking in, more of just how's everything going. It wasn't even, majority of it was, hey, where you working out, how's it feel, how you doing, but most of it was, how's the family life, how's what are you doing in Scottsdale? What are you doing? Have you done some trips? And so that stuff was actually really cool. We're, first and foremost, we're people, and then, baseball, some of the secondary. So it's actually kind of refreshing to, hear them call and talk about stuff other than baseball.
And then he did sort of, I don't know, maybe a second call, just sort of like feeling you guys out, like what are you looking for, what do you guys need?
Yeah, so second call was more of like, hey, like I'm going to be open, communication, come talk to me if you need anything. I'm going to come talk to you if I need anything, where you're taking your ground balls in the off season, where do you want me to take the ground balls in the off season, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it was good.
How long is the flight for a World Baseball Classic?
I think it's like 15 or 16 hours. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm really excited. I was talking, I think we lose 2 days when we go there, so we fly like the 3rd and we get there the 5th. But then when we come back, we gain a day, so it's like we're actually time traveling. So it's kind of cool.
Have you been?
I haven't. I'm looking forward to it. This offseason, they paid for a trip to Italy, which was really cool. So me and my fiance got to go there. We went to Milan, Venice, Rome, Lake Como, Tuscany. Like, we were bouncing around, so it was really, really cool. And just to kind of see where, my ancestors are from. I know the Lopez is kind of tricky because everyone doesn't think, how is he Italian? But I am. Trust me, I am.
Mark Tien went over there and said he went there and he goes, people actually recognize me. He couldn't believe it.
Really? Yeah, I didn't get many of that, but I get more of the answers or the questions of my last name. So I don't know if you guys saw my tweet where I had to clear that up, where my mom's 100% Italian. I'm Italian, I swear, and that's why. Yeah, so.
What's your favorite kind of Italian food?
It's crazy, but my dad makes like this baked masticholi that is like unbelievable. So, but it's like noodles, cheese, more cheese, like some meat, more cheese. Like it's definitely not healthy, but it helps me put on some weight in the off season.
Sounds like it's got a little Chicago in there, too.
It's got a sprinkle in Chicago in there, too.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Hey, this is Blair. There are several ways to access the Star Sports section. Let me tell you about a couple of them. There's Sports Pass. For $12.99 a month, you get unlimited digital access to all the Star Sports content, including beat writing, columns, features, pretty much everything we write. The deal renews monthly until you tell us to cancel. For $159.99 a year, you get everything the Star has to offer digitally, including sports and the e-edition. Go to kansascity.com and drop down to the bottom of the page where it says Start a Subscription for more information. Your support has never been more important. As always, thanks for reading and listening.
What do you think of the powder blue uniforms? MJ said you guys had some plans, maybe.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
How excited are you for just spring training in general now that you know you're starting shortstop?
Oh yeah, just been kind of working a lot this off season. Really excited and just kind of been chomping at the bit. I know after like the holiday season, Christmas and everything, and New Year's, after that you're like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. So just looking forward to it. I feel like the preparation, everything this off season has gone really well. Got my body right and ready for keep going.
What's been the focus of that preparation this off season?
Just trying to get everything better, and so not just really focus on one thing, just really trying to get better at all aspects of the game, whether it's defensively, offensively, my mind, speed, strength, whatever it is. So just little things day by day, just try to take everything one day at a time and just try to be the best Bobby Wood Jr. I can be.
Bobby, what's it mean to you to know it's going to be shortstop, or for the most part, I'm sure?
Yeah, it's great just to know your job, know my role, and that's what I've kind of been working this offseason, just knowing that now that's my role and my job, and I just go out and try to be the best shortstop I can possibly be, help the team, help the pitchers, because I know now we got some new faces, and just try to do some great things out there.
What does that do in terms of your off-season prep? I mean, how you looked at the off-season to just know you're lasering in on that?
Yeah, it just kind of helps with some things, just if I want to do other defensive drills or stuff, but just kind of taking the same steps I was last year, just now have a sense of where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing. So really just trying to get ready, improve on a lot of things defensively, and just get back going. Just know at shortstop, I know I'm very comfortable there, and just really excited.
And just along those lines too, how much better equipped do you feel for Major League season after last year?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I feel like last year I learned so much, and I took all of that just with notes that I've taken and everything, and took it to the off season, and now I know through the failure, through the tough times, through losing games, what not to do, and just try to change myself to get ready for however many games we're going to play this year, and just get ready for anything really. And so it's been, I think, really really good off season. I feel like I had so much learning time from with the guys in the clubhouse through just the whole season. So I was really blessed with 2022, and I'm really looking forward to 2023. Just through the failure, through the ups and downs, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
You mentioned the what not to do. Why does that stand out, or what was that? What not to do?
It's just things you don't want to happen again. Whether it's mental errors, and I feel like you can limit those a lot throughout the off season. I feel like proper preparation prevents bad things, and so you got to kind of do that and just be ready for anything.
JJ said he noticed an improvement in your defense maybe the last 6 weeks of the season. Is that how you saw it? And if so, what did you think was different or better?
Yeah, just going back, just being myself out there, just be athletic, go out there, do the fundamentals. We had a good routine before the game, just making sure I'm ready each and every day, and be ready for every play. Like, you got to play in the infield in the big leagues. I saw something the other day. It's where there's 24,000 pitches. I think you got to be ready for it, and I think that's a huge thing. If you take one pitch off, that's the ball you might get hit into you and make an error. So I think an average infielder makes 400 plays. So think about that: 24,000 attempts, and you got to get 400. Just getting your body right for each and every play. I think that's another huge thing. And I think that comes with the mental preparation, and so that's been huge this off season. And so just seeing that really was an eye opener. And I think it's half that for the outfielder, but they still got to be ready. So
you're talking to a bunch of journalists. We don't understand numbers.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I didn't go to college. Sure.
I forgot I was going to ask.
Made the important point.
Bobby, what's just the difference? Can you backtrack to this time last year, going into spring training, and just even if it's mental, just like the difference in the way you're feeling right now going into spring training?
Yeah, I feel a little bit stronger, a little bit like bigger. I feel faster and everything. So that's one thing that I feel physically, but then also mentally, like just knowing what's going to happen, and then just being able to communicate. Like just this offseason, we made a lot of the coaching changes, and just being able to communicate with them and just know before going into spring training what's kind of going to go on, how are things going to be run, and then just knowing the team, knowing the guys. Like last year I knew all the guys, but it's like you don't have that relationship. And so now just being able to talk with the teammates throughout the offseason, see the guys that are in Texas, go to a Brady Singer's wedding and see all the guys and hang out with them. It was really cool just to kind of build even more like camaraderie with those guys. And so I think that's kind of a difference, just knowing your team, knowing everything, and then just also knowing that I got to get my body ready for 162 plus games. So
what have your conversations with Q been like so far? What stands out about him?
It's great. He's just asking me, like he wants me to be the one talking. He's not he's just asking the questions because he's the one that's saying it's y'all's team. And so he's kind of going to be not away, but he's going to be there. He's going to be doing his job, working off and on the field, and know that he's already put in the work, moved down here, doing all that. So it's really good to see that. And then just like I said, he's calling maybe once every week, every other week, just checking in, seeing how things are. So it's really cool just to hear that and that.
The message this offseason from front office, JJ, has been a lot of confidence in the core that you guys have, the guys that you played with last year. What does that say to you and to your teammates? Do you guys talk about that at all?
Yeah, it just kind of shows you that you just got to be ready, got to know, and you got to take account for what your job is. And so I think that with having such a close core, it's good, but then also you got to be able to hold yourself and hold your teammates accountable. And I think that's a good thing for having those guys that are close. They will do that. Like if something goes wrong, someone will say, hey, quit doing that, or whatever, you need to fix this. Or if someone's not there, like asking them, how are you doing, what's going on, is something wrong? Whereas if the clubhouse isn't as close, that might not happen, and guys might go into a more slump with that. And so that's what's really nice with knowing that you got that core group and that you've been around the guys. And so it's good. And then just having those conversations.
Are you looking forward to Team USA?
Oh, it's going to be a blast. I'm really privileged just to be a part of the team. Just kind of that, trying to figure out, like, knowing my role for that team and just being around them. Mike Trout, Trey Turner, list, like you can name the whole list and you're like all-star. And so it's just, I'm just going to take it all in, learn from those guys, see their routine. I think that's the biggest thing, is just learning, just being around those guys, what it takes, and just know, like just being a part of the team, it kind of gives me like confidence, but then also motivation. Like I'm a part of this. Like, so, like, I must be maybe something or whatever, but then also it's like I'm a part of this, so now I got to go out there and prove that I should be a part of it.
Bobby, you didn't seem to have any trouble handling the hype last year, but was it something to manage? Was it as you were getting into those first few weeks or approaching the first few weeks, how did you contend with that, and was there a challenge to it?
Yeah, I definitely think that I put pressure on myself just because of I'm this guy. I didn't know what was going to happen in spring training, and then I make the team, and then the team struggled a little bit in the past, and I'm like, all right, I got to help change the team. I got to do this, do that, instead of just being Bobby Wood Jr., being myself, doing my job. I try to do more and more, and so I think that throughout the year I just really was able just to calm down, and even guys at other teams are just like, hey, if you be yourself, you're gonna be an all-star. Like, and so that's like really like reassuring to hear just from guys, other all-stars that I'm playing against and everything. So it was really cool to hear that. But yeah, just knowing that I'm up here, I'm gonna work hard just to stay up there and just be the best person that I can be for the team and for myself.
And it helps to really recognize that now. I mean, as you go into this, you're like, okay, I can be that by just letting myself be.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Just keep everything simple. That's my word. Just try to make the game as simple as possible, slow down the game, almost make the work that I've been doing in the offseason harder than the game is, so then that slows down the game, and so it makes me as prepared as possible.
What do you think about the new rule about pitchers being able to throw twice to a base? Is that something you can take advantage of?
I think definitely, and you've kind of seen it in the minor leagues with guys still in 80, whatever bags it is, and so just I don't really know how it's going to work, and we'll see kind of, I guess, in spring training and throughout the early part of the year, but definitely just going to try to keep helping the team, whether it's running or doing whatever.
Bobby, I don't know every year of your youth career, but I'm guessing last year is really the first year you've had where you've experienced losing to that degree. sure you didn't like it, but what kind of toll did that take on you?
Yeah, it's just knowing. I think that's you got to have that routine with, if you lose, you make mistakes, you make errors. All right, think about it maybe an hour, 2 hours after the game, and then once you turn off your lights, go to bed, you got to flip the switch. It's a new day. And I think that was another huge thing that I learned, and just learned from veterans like Salvi showing up to the ballpark with that same smile every day, no matter. You don't know if he went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts or he hit 4 home runs the night before, whatever it is. And so just trying to be the same guy each and every day, and you can't. I think for us young guys, that's going to be, I think throughout last year was kind of a difficult moment because everyone's goal was to get up to the big leagues and be there. And once you got up there, it's like, all right, well, like what's next? Now you got to perform, and like so you can't really. You're in the big leagues. It's okay to get out. It's this and that. So I think that's going to be maybe a challenge for like the young guys. But I think once that clicks, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So what are your expectations then for what the team can do this year?
I think the sky's the limit. I think who knows what's like. We're going to go out there and work. Like people say, oh, 2024 is going to be a good year. No, we're focused on spring training right now. 2023 spring training this season. Like we're not going out there trying to lose. We're going to go out there and work hard, do our work. And I know each and every one of those guys are working hard too. And so everyone has each other's back. So we're going to go out there and just compete.
Excited to have Zach back on the team.
Oh yeah, just seeing him and that smirk he has, it's always fun. He lightens up everything. I was trying to watch his video whenever he's doing his little press conference and everything. He's just one of one. He's awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun having him back.
He said last night that he had a lot of fun last year despite the losing, and a lot of it was because of the young guys, the personalities. What do you think that says about the clubhouse right now that a veteran is saying that about you?
Yeah, that's huge. I think that gives everyone just to see how close we are as a team and how things are going to keep going, and we're just going to keep creating that bond and hopefully change into a winning culture with that same success and everything.
How about that? Get at least some kind of relationship with Patrick Mahomes. Tell us about that and just emotional investment in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's motivation for sure. Just seeing what he's doing and going to some games and just all the work he puts in. I kind of see it from behind, just all the work he puts in the off season, all the work he puts in during the season, and all that energy he brings. It's all real. It's all like just being down there on the sidelines, seeing him talk to his wife before the game, like, let's go, we're doing this, like it's showtime. It's just so cool to watch. Like none of that stuff's fake. It's who he is. He's high energy. He just brings it all to the table, and it shows in what he's doing. So I definitely think that's motivation, and it made me become a Chiefs fan the past few years just because of what the team has done, what those guys do over there, and just how great a team that culture is as a team, what Coach Reed brings to it, and just everything. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our producer, George Howard, and our SportsBeat KC production team of Monty Davis, Randy Mason, Jeff Rosen, and Scott Chasen. Morning Sports Edition is your one-stop sports page shopping for all things sports in Kansas City, nationally and internationally. Check it out at liveedition.kansascity.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another SportsBeat KC, where we talk sports in Kansas City every day.